Bismillah walhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear respected brothers and sisters, we are here in Masjid Quba today with people of knowledge, people who are active in Dawah. So maybe everybody will introduce themselves, starting from the brother.
Salahuddin, from Nottingham. Brother Rashid from Bradford.
Brother Hussain from, sorry, I always say everything.
Brother Hussain from Nottingham.
And you know me, I'm Brother Hussain from Leicester. So today we had a nice day, meeting, the Brother Aminul Orange, the meeting, lecture, support the Dawah, bring community to the masjid. So we would like to ponder a little bit. I would like to ask the brothers, about the experience in Dawah, and I would like to start with the brother who studied in Medina, who has lots of experience in Dawah and in knowledge, and working with the ulama, working, giving Dawah on the street. So can you tell us something, important, to encourage people to study religion and to, preach it, in the correct way?
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ما بعد اللهم لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. My dear brothers and sisters, indeed it is from the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He allowed us to be under the religion of Islam. Indeed it is from the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that we are saying La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. It is indeed from the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that He is letting us the knowledge and to acquire the knowledge that is beneficial for us. Why? Because it is the beneficial knowledge that will be protecting us, inshallah al-aziz, on the day of judgment, and it will be talking for us on the day of judgment. So whenever we are actually evaluating ourselves based on the knowledge that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will preserve until the day of judgment, which is the Qur'an, along with comes the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, upon the understanding of the Sahaba, their followers and their followers, then we will see that it will not be just limited to us. We want to share that khair with others. So when we are in the field of da'wah, it is quite often noticed that when we talk to the people based on no knowledge, when we talk to the people based on our own desires, that there is fruitlessness, meaning that it doesn't become fruitful. So if we are preaching the message of Islam to the mass, whether it is to the Muslims or to the non-Muslims, knowledge is something that we must have. So even let's say you have some little knowledge, there is no problem when you are being asked in the field of da'wah some hard questions. If you have no answer to it, it is from the humility to say, I don't know. Quite often we disregard that. So always remember that La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, with that comes heavy responsibility. The more you are upon that path, the easier Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes for you, as long as we show the sincerity to ourselves and to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then whatever we do in accordance to the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, even if it is conveying message of Islam to the Muslims and non-Muslims, you will see the benefit in it. That is what I wanted to share with you. As I learned it from my scholars when I was studying in Medina, in Haram al-Nabawi, in the Islamic University of Medina, as well as outskirts of Medina, when they was in Mecca, even when there were journeys that I was doing during the summer holidays. So this is what I have learned from the ulama, and this is what I would like to continue preaching here.
Yes. Also, I wanted to ask something. Sometimes we see a bit of this balance, how we can maintain this, because we see sometimes people who study a lot, spending lots of time, years, tens of years,
yes,
in Dawah, studying Dawah field, but actually they don't approach people, teaching them Islam and calling people to accept Islam.
Sure.
What do you think about this? It should be involved all community in Dawah, or just leave for individuals who feel like?
Well, if we look at the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, where Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, طَلَبُ الْعِلْمِ فَرِيضَةٌ عَلَى كُلِّ مُسْلِمٍ. Quite often, vast majority of the Muslims, we are aware of such hadith. We hear in this hadith is mentioned, even those who are not Arabs, who are Ajami, they also mention this hadith, meaning seeking knowledge is obligatory upon the Muslims. And the hadith is recorded by Imam Muslim ibn Hajjaj, who was a student of Imam al-Bukhari rahmatullahi alayhi, as well as the student of Imam Ahmed ibn Hanbal rahmatullahi alayhi. So when we are acquiring knowledge, it demands propagation. The knowledge itself demands propagation. So if we look at the lifestyle that we're having in this part of the world, whenever we learn something that is beneficial, let's say for example, anything that you know about the electricity department, whether it is from the welfare department, whether it is the employment department in this very country, if you know something, you will be approached by the people that have lesser knowledge so that you can help them. Maybe because they don't know much English, but in the native language that you can explain. Islam has far more right. The moment you acquire the knowledge of an Islam, it is actually to a degree obligatory upon you to actually convey it. Why? Because it is Allah's command upon Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam when Allah said, "Ya ayyuha Rasul, O Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, balligh ma unzila ilayka min rabbik." Convey what was revealed to you from your Lord. وَإِن لَمْ تَفْعَلْ, and if you don't do so, فَمَا بَلَّغْتَ رِسَالَةً, and then you have not conveyed the message. So everyone has a role to play. As much as it is the case that Islam would prosper with or without our help, we still have to play a single part. Even if you cannot do it with your knowledge, at least share the news that there are some people who are doing the da'wah. Why? Because if you don't do so, on the day of judgment, we will be the first one to be held accountable. And that is a serious matter that quite often we neglect, whether it is deliberately or not. I do hope that it makes sense.
Yes.
Yes.
Barakallah. Maybe you can ask Sebastian and Brother Salahuddin,
Yes.
who is revert, how is your, he's very active in Dawah field. I know Brother a bit time, so I know that he been studying a lot from personal experience. So can you tell us a little bit about your experience in studying and learning and propagating the message of Islam from the time you become Muslim?
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. So, I suppose, like the Shaykh was saying, like Ustad was saying, that seeking knowledge, you know, it is an obligatory action in Islam. It's actually an act of ibadah. And when you acquire the knowledge, then you feel good about what you can pass on to people. You have the confidence to pass it on because you know it. So from my experience, like when I first embraced Islam, it was roughly about 2 months that I found brothers doing a dawah table and giving dawah to the non-Muslims. Now from that point on, I've been giving dawah ever since. But one thing that was lacking in the beginning is the emphasis on knowledge. So you're there at the dawah table, okay, you pick up how to have a conversation with someone, how to communicate with someone, how to discuss with Christians, atheists, etc. But you don't fully understand your religion. And this is where, when the difficult questions come, that's like Ustad was saying, that there is this neglect, this thinking that, oh, I'll just answer it however I can, just so I've won the argument. And this is not the way that we as Muslims should be. We should say the truth. And if we don't know it, then we would say to the non-Muslims, well, if I don't know it, I will go and ask someone who does know it. And this is important. So from my experience, I've always said that going for the knowledge, seeking knowledge, but also acting upon the knowledge as well. Because like you was mentioning before, there are people who study for so many years, they learn and learn and learn, but they don't implement it. You know, and this is a problem as well.
So as I understand that knowledge you find out while doing dawah is something requireable, desirable, something which and this was something which pushed you to study and learning. Alhamdulillah, barakallah. So the last question I will add, you know, for the Brother Hasib was with us as well. He's a born Muslim, yeah?
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. So can you tell me, you know, we're working together as well with Dawah, you know, we've been on, calling people to study together. Alhamdulillah, I've seen he was having a good conversation. So can you tell me about your experience with knowledge? Did you start learning from the young age, or how, you know, did you started recently, you know, for the purpose of Dawah? Because basic knowledge you will get when you grow in the madrasa and stuff, but you know, knowledge, you know, we should look for, you know, calling people to religion.
He's supposed to go in the house.
Alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah.
Their house rock. No, rock.
So
Someone
basically, as
everything
I'm
from
a Muslim,
and the police
alhamdulillah,
there is no security.
I know the basics
Just
from
to-
back home.
Okay.
And I came as an international student. And the main thing I noticed with myself and everyone else, that we're shy. We're not proud of our religion. So it's not, I knew many things, but when I started being not shy and be proud of my religion, alhamdulillah, my iman increased.
So while you was doing dawah, you felt good in your heart while you was manifesting the religion. Yes, what something which we should all feel. Yes, because that's the best thing for us. Yeah, we have the keys to paradise.
Yes. On that note, when I was growing up, I thought that other religions are just there for let's say to compete each other. But I didn't know that it's the same religion. All the Prophet came with the same message. I got to know when I started doing dawah with them.
Jazakallah khair. We had a discussion today with the people of knowledge and people of dawah. We invite all the people to accept Islam and to practice Islam, because that's guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the best thing which can happen to you is receive that guidance. So appreciate it and share it, because this is our role, this is our work, this is what is prescribed for us. Barakallahu feek. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.
Salam.